Hello everybody, this is PotterBrony. Welcome to a blind reaction of Death Battle. This time it's Meta versus Carolina from the Red vs. Blue series. If I'm not mistaken, they're both from the Red vs. Blue series. Alright, now I know nothing about Red vs. Blue, the series. I don't know the lore, I don't know the story, the characters, anything. I'm going into this completely blind about any information of it. Yeah, before I get into it, let me just talk about this thing. Normally I would have had this death battle done already, but it took a couple days to figure whether I was even going to watch it or not. I wasn't sure what I was going to be doing with the series. Okay, I've seen maybe most of Season 1 of Red vs. Blue way back when it first came out, and a friend of mine who was into it suggested it, said, hey, check this out, and yeah, I couldn't get into it. It was like, he played Halo, though I didn't. I can't stand first-person shooter games, mainly because, let's be realistic here, I completely suck at them, so I just never got into them. Not that I really can't stand them. So, really, I know nothing about Halo lore, or the story, or the characters, or anything about them, other than Master Chief and Cortana are from them, and that's all I know about it. Yeah, that's, so with the Red vs. Blue series, I just wasn't getting into it that much. A lot of it, I think, had to do with the fact that it was so Halo-based that it was just going over my head, and I was having a difficult time finding enjoyment out of it. My friend was all for it, and he loves it, and I just couldn't get into it. But now there are just so many seasons and so much of it that it is really just kind of a daunting task to slide through it all, you know. It's just too much to deal with. So that was one of the things that I was kind of debating about, whether or not I was even going to do this death battle because of spoilers, and I tend to avoid spoilers, particularly in shows that particularly for shows or movies that I really enjoy. But this one, I decided, well, I don't think I'm going to be watching Red vs. Blue. Mainly because of the main issue and because of my experience with Season 1. Even though I know, and before you say it, I know that it got a hell of a lot better. Especially when Monty Oum came on board. But, yeah, as I said, the whole problem with me is that there's just so much of it that I'm not really sure if I'm going to be doing any reactions to it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm not. So before you make any suggestions, before anybody asks, hey, can you do Red vs. Blue? And I have gotten requests to do that. Just stop. You know, don't. I may at some point, but probably not. There's just way too much of it, and I would have to get through Season 1, 2, 3, all the way through 14, and there's just too much of it. So I figure it's safe enough to watch this, because I just really, yeah, I don't really have to worry about spoilers. And from what people have said, there aren't that many spoilers in this one to begin with. I don't see how, because they always go into extensively into certain backstory elements as far as during the analysis portion. So, as I said, I know very little about Halo and next to nothing about Red vs. Blue. But if I had to choose who I wanted to win right now, it would be Meta, because that's just a cool name, and that's all I'm basing it on. So I'll make a better prediction after I hear the analysis portion, and let's see what they have in store for us this time. I've been rambling on for long enough. Alright, so starting the video in 3, 2, 1, and go. And of course, Screw Attack and Rooster Teeth working together on this one as they do now.
I don't know what it is. Oh, no, wait. It'd probably be, hey, where do these AI keep coming from? Or, have you noticed that we're looking pretty evil lately? Anyway, there's been plenty of action-packed punch-outs and kick-ass karate matches over the years, but we never really saw a matchup between two of our heaviest hitters, Carolina and the Meta. Let's see if we can do something about that.
fight between Carolina and the meta?
No. Only hopeless nerds on the internet care about that kind of crap.
Yeah? Why do you think I'm asking?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Come on, picture it. It'd be totally badass.
Well, yeah, I guess. Carolina would definitely win, though.
Bullshit. You're just picking her because you're scared of girls. Meta's way scarier. He threw a warthog at me.
Oh, I didn't realize scariness was the deciding factor in a fight to the fucking death. Genius. Hey, Rage! What are you
Fair
talking
point.
about? Oh, Griff was just asking what would happen if Carolina and Meta fought.
By who?
One another.
Another who?
What?
What? Just ignore it.
Oh, you mean death battle. I mean, sure. Oh, awesome! Hang on, I know some smart people that can help. Be right back!
This is an interesting intro.
Any idea what he's talking about?
No, but I do know that you're still fucking wrong.
Okay, I'm back.
That was fast.
Yep, I called command and they sent 2 of their best scientist fighting people to help us. Their best.
Let me guess. Wiz and
Really?
Boomstick.
And that's how you write your name in Buckshot.
All right.
And they gave him avatars, too.
Oh, fine.
I think you're forgetting that command's best is just a step up from incompetent.
They sent us donut.
I rest my case.
Introducing Cheese and Broomstick!
It's Whiz and Boomstick.
Wow, those are the dumbest names I've ever heard.
Franklin Delano Donut.
And I retract my previous statement.
Yeah, well, you've got the dumbest face I've ever seen.
I thought you were supposed to be smart. I'm wearing a helmet.
Oh my god, me too! Alright, so how you guys do this? You just like draw names out of a hat? Cast some chicken bones around?
It's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Why did you say it like that?
Just watch.
I'm assuming the others were actual characters from Red vs. Blue.
There was Project Freelancer. The Freelancers were highly trained soldiers with experimental weaponry and a mission so secret, not even they knew what it was.
Kinda stupid in hindsight, but these were true soldiers. The biggest and strongest of them all was Agent Maine.
Maine was the muscle of the team, relying on his brute strength, wrestling styles, and his unwavering ferocity to intimidate and crush his foes.
While he likes carrying an M6G Magnum pistol into battle, he really likes a certain alien grenade launcher he stole, the Type 25 grenade launcher, aka the Brute Shot.
I mean, seriously, look at this thing. It's got a blade and can fire up to 4 rounds in 3 seconds. Let's test that, shall we?
Hey, that's mine! Give it back! Ah! Ah!
Well, in conclusion...
And he finally gets his hands on some guns.
So the guy was a badass fighter. Too bad Project Freelancer ended up turning him into a monster.
Long story short, the director of Project Freelancer received a rare artificial intelligence for testing.
The director imagined an army of super soldiers paired with AIs, but he could only get the one.
Being the resourceful scientist he was, the director decided to torture the AI, forcing it to separate its raw emotions into multiple personalities to save itself.
I don't know what they were
These
saying, no
personalities
spoilers.
were
This
captured
is a lot of
as individual AI
backstory.
fragments and paired with different freelancers.
Seems spoilery to me.
Maine was given Sigma, the AI fragment representing ambition and creativity. And apparently being creative means you're fucking evil.
Desperate to gather his fellow AI fragments and reform into a perfect AI, Sigma manipulated and brainwashed Maine, turning him into the murdering psychopath known as the Meta.
The Meta went on a rampage, betraying his fellow freelancers and stealing their AIs. He was like the Predator, but bigger, meaner, and with tons of overpowered equipment.
His domed energy shield creates a nigh-impregnable force field.
It can block bullets, explosions, and even shells from tanks.
Allow us to demonstrate.
They are having fun with this.
Here's Griff inside an energy shield.
Yeah, so?
And here's a tank operated by Caboose.
And what could go wrong?
Oh, shit.
Fire in the hole in one!
Whew. Let's try that again, Blue Buddy.
Yes, sir, Captain Notepad.
Huh? Wait, it ran out of... Ah!
Now, if the energy shield had been there, Griff would have been fine.
But now he's dead.
Said it for years.
As As if that weren't enough, the meta's active camouflage turns him practically invisible. His strength boost enhancement grants him, well, super strength, and most impressively, his temporal distortion device can slow time to a crawl.
He can turn invisible and stop time? This guy sounds unstoppable.
Unfortunately, running so much equipment alongside so many AI fragments consumes a lot of power. But that hasn't stopped him from killing several freelancers and stealing 7 other AIs.
Not to mention, the dude can take a hit and keep on going, even when that hit is taking 9 shots point blank to the neck. Man, and I thought my voice made my throat hurt. No wonder he never talks.
The only thing that could stop him was when a couple of idiots stabbed him in the chest, tied him to a car, and threw that car off a cliff into the freezing ocean.
But let's be fair, Wiz. That's a pretty fucking hardcore way to go.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Where'd you get all this footage? Have you been spying on us? Don't worry about it.
Leading the troops of Project Freelancer, Agent Carolina was supposedly the best of the best. She commanded the team through many successful missions, mastered several martial arts, and her top spot on the leaderboard seemed untouchable.
Until a mysterious stranger showed up out of the blue and ruined everything. But we'll get to that later. Carolina carries a wider variety of weapons than most freelancers. Over the course of her career, she's favored the standard Magnum pistol, dual plasma rifles, a grappling hook which can operate in outer space, a humbler stun device which is basically a shock baton, and a long-range BR-55 battle rifle.
It's not as flashy as a shotgun, but it's got an impressive range of over 3,000 feet.
Observe.
Ow! Why me?
It just feels right.
Like many other freelancers, Carolina also possesses an AI companion. Several, actually, but for this matchup, we'll be focusing on the time she spent with Epsilon, the memory of the original Alpha AI the director fragmented. It's also known as Church. Like the other AI fragments, Epsilon experiences time 205 times slower than a human being, and therefore drastically speeds up Carolina's thoughts and reaction time.
Too bad he's kind of an asshole. And by kind of, I mean that's basically his thing.
Guys,
He's an asshole.
I'm an asshole.
In her post-freelancer career, Carolina made it her mission to track down as much experimental armor equipment as possible. And let me tell you, she did a pretty damn good job. Like Maine, she managed to acquire the domed energy shield, but also picked up adaptive camouflage, a speed boost, and a healing unit.
Unfortunately, just one AI fragment isn't enough to run all of this equipment at once. In battle, if Carolina's not careful, she can accidentally push Epsilon too far and essentially short-circuit him.
Yeah, for a leader, she's kind of hot-headed and super competitive. Like when Agent Texas joined the freelancer crew and started showing her up, Carolina started making a lot of stupid mistakes.
There's a lot going on here. Turns out the director was Carolina's father all along, and Tex was actually the AI fragment memory of his deceased wife. Meaning Carolina's greatest rival for her father's approval was actually her own mother.
Wait, what? You're making that up.
You guys didn't know that? Where have you been? Pay attention.
Yeah, seriously, guys, it's like super obvious.
Huh. Suddenly everything makes a lot more sense.
Fuck, dude. Remember when all we used to do was stand around and talk?
Yeah, good times.
Good times.
Ow!
Still love this thing.
Regardless, Carolina is one tough woman. She's defeated several other freelancers, saved an entire planet from civil war, and once blocked the shockwave of a nuclear explosion.
She and Epsilon were even skilled enough to track down dear old Dad after he went into hiding, just to help him kill himself. Jeez, that got dark real fast.
Are you?
I'm your true warrior.
All right, the combatants are set.
All right.
Let's end this debate once
So-
and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
And
Oh, yeah!
pause. Okay, so, yeah, I'm not sure who's going to win that one. It does look interesting. The series, they even made a reference to what initially turned me off about it, was just standing there talking, and, I mean, I do like action as much as the next person, but the humor that, and I do also appreciate the, like, just verbal humor that, say, you would see in a Kevin Smith movie. Which, for example, I was just using that as an example because that's the way he talks about it. It's like he may be more directing action stuff too sometimes. Recent episode of The Flash and whatnot, but a lot of his early stuff is like what he's comfortable with. His wheelhouse is just talking, sitting, talking, making dick and fart jokes and stuff. And unfortunately, as I explained before, the reason I didn't really get into Red vs. Blue before was because, mainly because I don't know much of Halo, and while you may not have to necessarily play Halo to enjoy the humor, it wasn't my thing at first, but looks like they have gotten it more interesting, given actual story to it, as opposed to just a bunch of guys standing around talking about one team and fuck those guys, that whole thing. But still, let me think. Who do I think is going to win this one? I'm still going to say the Meta, because hearing all about him and what he's gone through and what he's done, he just seems far more brutal. They both have their weaknesses as far as overtaxing their AI and their equipment, but I'm still going to go with the Meta just because he just seems far more vicious and brutal and willing to do, at least from what I've gathered about it. Not to say that Carolina isn't, as far as I could see, but Meta just looks even more so. So let's just get it restarted and see who wins. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice training.
Time. Oh, yeah, just 0.03 milliseconds too slow. Looks like I'm picking the movie tonight.
Ugh. Can it not be another garbage action movie?
Oh, come on, they're hilarious. Everyone talks in one-liners and the plot's non-existent. It's like the characters are just there to beat the shit out of each other. Uh-oh.
What is it?
Like this series.
I think we're about to have company.
Aim.
Not exactly.
The last one. Take it.
Of course, the Meta wouldn't have reason to attack her for the AI.
Not working!
I can see that.
That guy is a bit of an asshole. Well, so much for that gun. God damn. And of course, Rooster Teeth had to have animated it.
Church, I need armor enhancement.
Which ones?
All of them.
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yep, overtaxing it. And he froze time, or slowed time.
Damn it! Okay. Focusing on the healing unit. I got you. Carolina, can you hear me? You got him!
Oh.
Seriously, what the fuck? Hey, wait. Hey, hold up. Hey, so I know you're about to pummel her ginger face in and all, but you also only talk in grunts, so I'm just gonna say this one line for you, okay? Just this one time. Oh! Son of a bitch!
Oh, shit.
Church,
Yeah?
no action movies.
Fair enough, Carolina.
Holy shit!
I know! He did not even have a head under his helmet! He was a ghost the whole time!
I told you!
Is that guy a dumbass?
Bullshit! Meta's stronger! He should have won!
Not true, Griff. As the freelancer leaderboard proves,
And that's what the,
everything.
Carolina.
That's what the fans are going to be arguing about, isn't it?
And her use of equipment allowed her to match and even counter the metas. He may have gained an upper hand with his temporal distortion, but Carolina's healing unit quickly repaired damage done during the attack.
Even though the meta had all that powerful equipment, it drained his suit's energy way too fast. Carolina tried to use all of her equipment at once and failed. Luckily, she had Epsilon to change tactics and focus on recovery.
Which brings us to what is perhaps the most important factor of the fight, the relationship between Freelancer and artificial intelligence. The meta was brainwashed and manipulated by 8 different AI, effectively filling his head with an unintelligible mess of voices and commands. In contrast, Carolina and Epsilon worked together as partners with a mutual trust, both capable of making judgment calls to make up for each other's weaknesses.
Whatever. I still say it should have been the meta.
Says the guy who can't tell the difference between a car and a Puma.
I can tell the difference! It was a matter of comparison!
The meta just couldn't get ahead of his competition.
The winner is...
Yeah, I assume you have to understand the series to get that joke.
Hey, what in Sam hell are you boys doing in here? Fraternizing with the Blue Devil and a... Who the hell are these dirtbags? Whoa, easy there, sir. We're just here from command.
Hey, nice shotgun. I like the cut of your jib.
Well, what do you know? Someone who has an eye for the finer things in life.
Oh, you better believe it.
You know, you remind me of someone. Almost like the son that I never wanted.
Oh, that's funny. I was about to say you're like the pappy I never had. When I was a kid, he ran out on us to join the army and never came back.
Are they giving... They're giving Boomstick backstory based in Red vs. Blue, huh?
What a nice guy.
Really?
We had an absolute blast working on the episode. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the full series of Red vs. Blue on roosterteeth.com.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends.
And follow us on social media so you're up to date on the latest death battle details. Just follow the links in the description.
Thanks for watching.
Next time!
Alright, who's next time?
Targets acquired. You and me, right now.
Can't remember Sonya. Okay. Well, they actually had showed both fighters there, not any of the, find out later on our social media network. Alright, that was an entertaining death battle. Is it enough to make me want to watch the show? Maybe. Enough to do reactions to it? I'm not sure. But like I said, there's just a whole lot of it And it's just something I've got to kick around whether or not I even want to get started with that. But, yeah, if that's what the show was like later on, then maybe at some point I could get around to it. But right now, yeah, just don't ask, don't make requests for it. If it's going to happen, it'll happen. If not, it won't. I can't make any promises on that one. As I said, there's just so much of it to get through. But all the same, those were some pretty good, couple of pretty good characters. Really good action-packed death battle. I feel like if I understood the series, I would get more of the jokes. Apparently there's a character who's very boomstick-like. Yeah, so is that canon now? Is Boomstick's father a character from Red vs. Blue? Why not? Even the dumb guy was kind of looking over, as far as I could tell, behind the helmet. I can't really see, but even the dumb guy there was kind of looking over at Boomstick when he was like, what a nice, as if really, what an idiot. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'm just going to end this one here. Until next time, take care. Bye.